Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking turkeys, and I've been a bit turkeyed out, I'll be honest. I did a demo day at SoCal about 3 weeks ago and we cooked 3 different turkeys 3 different ways, but we didn't do it the way I'm going to do it today. Firstly, I'd just like to apologise for the mess in here. Currently extending the shack, giving me a little bit more space to do some more barbecuing, and we're also adding this lovely tiling effect around the whole of the shack as well, which is just going to brighten it up basically and make it look a little bit better. So normally I've got a SoCal sign here, it will come back, just haven't finished tiling the shack yet, so don't worry, but excuse the mess while we just get this place sorted and hopefully have a bit more space for a few more grills and a bit more grilling. So what I want to try is a rotisserie turkey. Now, I haven't done one of these before, purely because normally a turkey's massive and fitting on a rotisserie isn't the most ideal thing, but my friends over at Copper's Turkeys have sent me a turkey to give it a go on the Broil King gas grill, so it should be all good, and we're going to see how we get on with it and see whether it turns out as juicy as what it would do if it was like a chicken or anything like that. So we have a 7.5 kilo bird, the Broil King Baron 490 that I've got. The rotisserie is rated to 7.5 kilos, so it is right on the limit of what it's rated to, so it could be interesting to see how we get on. But what we're going to do is go back 24 hours and we're going to use a brine, which I've got here, which is from SoCal, and it's a brine some turkey kit. Not used it yet, it's not one that we used at the demo day that I did either, so it's a new product, so I thought let's give this a try as well. It's really simple, and everything's all included that you need in the kit. So I'll also leave a link to the description for this if you are interested in buying one, because it does actually come out super tasty. But let's head back 24 hours and we'll see what brine mix we're going to do. Okay, so here is our brine. So we're going to start off with 3.75 litres of water in a large pot. So we're just going to kick off with that to start with. Then we're going to go in with 500 grams of sugar, and we're going to go in with our brine mix all straight in out of the packet, ready to go. I'm just going to get this up to sort of medium heat, and we're just going to let this all mould together and the sugar to dissolve into the mixture. So we'll pop back in about 10 minutes. Okay, and 15 minutes on, you can see it's all dissolved. So we're just going to go in with some apple vinegar cider, and we're just going to give that a little stir and mix that in. We're then just going to go in with some ice, just to cool this down nicely, nice and quick. And then we're just going to leave that to cool down for about 15-20 minutes, and we'll see where we're at. Okay, and this is the start of the show. This is a Copper's turkey, free range bronze turkey, really good. I used them last year as well, and their turkeys are literally second to none. This one arrived frozen, and I've defrosted it and thawed it out for the last couple of days. I'll leave a link to them in the description if you want to check them out. I think they're sold out this year, but you might be lucky enough to get one next year. So let's open it up and have a look at the bird. What is really nice is you get a little bit of seasoning salt, and you get a guide as to how not to dry your turkey out, because no one likes a dry bird at Christmas. Really nice that they just put those little afterthoughts in. And here is our turkey. You can see it's an absolute whopper, looks really good. So let's go and get this in our brine. Okay, so we'll just get this in nicely covered, just like so. I'm just going to put some more ice in. Then I'm just going to go in with some Jack Daniel's honey all over the top, a couple of shots of that, and we're just going to leave that now overnight to brine. Now that is a big old bird, I can tell you, a big old bird. I mean, that Yeti I've got is massive, and that bird only just fits in there width-wise, so a big old bird. So we're going to leave it 24 hours in that brine. We'll come back tomorrow and take a look at how it is, but I will say the brine mix is smelling really, really good, and this mix here was so easy to use, so easy. As you saw in the video, everything's all ready to go. The only things you need to add in is the sugar and the cold water, and obviously the apple vinegar cider as well, but really easy to use. So join me in 24 hours when the bird is all brined and we're going to get it all sorted and ready on the grill. Okay, so 24 hours on, brine is now complete on this turkey. So what we need to do is just pat this dry now, so that's what we're going to do. So you just grab your paper towels, and we're just going to pat that dry all over. I will say the brine was smelling absolutely lovely when I took this out earlier, so we're just going to give this a nice pat down. Okay, now what we're going to do is grab some of our garlic oil, and we're just going to grab a bit of this and just rub it all over this turkey. Really helps with the flavours, I find. Then once it's all rubbed in oil, I'm going to grab our turkey kit that we had, and in there was the seasoning that goes on it. So we're just going to grab this seasoning, and then we're just going to spread this all over the top of the bird. Then we're just going to leave that for 10 minutes just to sit there while we go and fire up the Broil King gas grill. So as well as patting it dry, as you saw me do there, I've also put it back into the fridge for half an hour just to really dry out that skin, so it'll be nice and crispy when we put it on the rotisserie. Okay, it's all dried out. Now let's head on over to the Broil King gas grill and let's fire it up. So we're just going to get this rotisserie fired up, close the lid, and we're just going to wait for that to come up to about 180 degrees. So the gas grill's coming up to temperature. We're looking for about 180 degrees, I would say. That is sort of optimum, what I would say. I think this is probably going to take about 4.5 to 5 hours, but obviously we'll soon find out. So let's now head back over to the bench and let's prep this turkey and get it ready to go on the rotisserie. Okay, next up we need to get this big bird onto the skewers. So we've got it set up here with the counterweight system you can see here, which I'll explain more when we get that onto the grill. So we're just going to go in here. And there you go, that is now on the rotisserie. So we're just waiting for that gas grill to come up to temperature. Okay, it's all prepped, so now let's get that bird onto the rotisserie. As you can see, it only just fits on there. It's a big old bird. The problem I think that we're going to have is as it's spinning round, whether it's going to catch the back burner of the rotisserie with the rear wing. But we'll come back in about half an hour, 45 minutes, and we'll see where we're at. Okay, so we're at about an hour and a bit in, and we've got some nice colour forming on the bird. I'd probably say it was a little bit too big for this grill. The motor is struggling a little bit. It's got a 7.5 kilo rating. Obviously this is 7.5 kilos. So you can see there that we're starting to get a nice colour on the bird. There is a little bit more colour here where that's a little bit closer to the flame as it's been rolling around. But it is looking good. Nowhere near ready obviously. So we're going to pop back in another hour. Okay, another hour on. Skin's starting to get nice and crispy, and you can see we're starting to get some really nice colour on the bird. Obviously this bit around here is still the same from before. Rotisserie is slightly bowed in as well, where obviously it's a little bit too heavy for it, but it's getting there, getting some nice crispiness on the skin. So it's now sat at 52, 53 degrees. So what we're going to do is make up our little basting solution that we're going to do, and we're going to show you how to do that now. Okay, and here is our dripping that we're going to be using to baste it. So we've got some Wagyu fat that I've rendered down and turned into Wagyu dripping, and I've added some garlic olive oil. So we're just going to pop that in here just to warm through, just over there, and then we'll start basting once that's melted down. Okay, so that's nicely heated through, so we're just going to brush that on the skin there. And then after we've done that, we're just going to pop back every 10 minutes and do the exact same till we hit temperature. Okay, and we are now probing at 70 degrees, so we're going to get it off and we're going to rest up to 74 degrees. So it's probably going to take about half an hour rest, and then we're going to slice into this. The skin is looking seriously crispy on it. So the mix that I was basting with as well in the video was some Wagyu fat that I'd rendered down to make basically Wagyu beef tallow, and I'd added some of the garlic oil to it as well, and we just mixed that up, heated it through, and then basted it onto the turkey. Okay, so the turkey has been resting now in the Yeti, and we are now ready to slice this bad boy up. So let's head over to the bench and see whether it's as juicy as what I'm hoping it's going to be. Okay, and here is the final result after resting for half an hour. You can see we've got a really nice crispy skin to it. Actually cooked really well in the end. The legs look good, nice and crispy. They're some of the best bits, I enjoy them. But you can really see that skin is looking really good. So let's slice into it. So the actual cook time was just over 4 hours. So we're just going to slice off a little bit of this breast. Oh, juices that are running through that are something else. Just look at that, it is just dripping, and the skin is nice and crispy on that. So we're going to now carve up the rest of this and give it a little taste test. That was a proper juicy bird. Really happy with how that turned out. Didn't get the crispiness on the skin that I hoped. Some of it was more crispy than others, but I think where the rotisserie gets quite hot and it was really close to the bird, unfortunately I think it burnt it a little bit, but underneath the skin the actual turkey was really juicy and really nice, as you saw when I was slicing into it. And there's a video on my Instagram page of me slicing up one of the breasts, and you can see how juicy that breast is over there. And I think if I'd had a slightly smaller bird, maybe a 5 or 6 kilo bird, it would have fitted on that rotisserie better, and you would have got that lovely golden crispy skin that you get when you do like a rotisserie chicken or anything like that. But it does show that doing a turkey on the rotisserie seems like the way to go for the pure juiciness, where the bird's constantly rolling like that. Really juicy, and everybody that I served it to thought it was absolutely pucker as well. So there you have it, another different way to cook a turkey. I'm all turkeyed out this year. I'm looking forward to having a little bit of beef on Christmas Day. And there you go guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and join me next time for another edition of Will's Grill Shack. Thank you for watching.